Hey guys, it's Miss Kindig here. Today we're going to be looking at IXL skill CC.2 on interpreting charts and graphs to find the mean, median, mode, and range. In IXL skill CC.1, we talked about what is the mean, median, mode, and range. Let's review. The mean is the average of all the numbers. So you're going to add up the numbers and divide by the number of numbers in the data. The median is the middle number when all the numbers are ordered from least to greatest. Don't forget to order the numbers first from lowest to highest, and then you're going to strike the first and the last until you get to the middle. The mode is the number that occurs most in the data. So what number do you see most often in the data? The range, to find the range, you're going to take the highest number, and you're going to subtract the lowest number in the data. All right, so let's look at these charts and graphs to find the mean, median, mode, and range. A girl compared the ages of her cousins. There they are listed. You have the name of each cousin and how old they are in years. What is the mean of the numbers? Now, the mean means the average, right? The average. So you're going to have to add up all of the numbers and you're going to divide them by how many cousins she has. Well, let's see what all the numbers added up would be. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 7 is 8. 2 plus 8 is 10. And then we have our 7 there. All right, so let's add all these up. 10 plus 8 plus 10 plus 7. Okay? So now let's add the right-hand column. 0 plus 8 is 8 plus 0 is 8 plus 7 is 15. So we're going to put down our 5 and carry our 1. 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. So we got 35. That's the sum. 35. Now we have to divide by how many cousins she has. Well, let's see how many she has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She has 7 cousins. So 35 divided by 7 is going to give us 5. So the average of the number or the average age of her cousins is 5 years old. All right, number 2, what is the mode of the numbers? Well, what does mode mean? Mode means the number that occurs the most. What number occurs most? So let's look at the ages. We have 1 and a 1. Okay, we have a 9. Is there another 9? Nope, it's only 1. What about 7? Yes, we have a 7 and a 7. 2 and 8 only occur once. So actually, this problem in number 2 has 2 modes. 2 of the numbers occur twice, so we have to write both of them. 1 and 7 are both the mode. 1 and 7. Now, I don't believe that IXL has any problems that have 2 numbers as the answer, but on this worksheet there are 2. All right, let's look at the next one. A baker wrote down how many pies she made in the past 7 days. Now, let's look at this chart. Now, this is a bar graph, so we're going to say, what is the name of the graph? The name is up here, the weekly pies baked. Now, we're going to look over at the scale on the left-hand side. Here are the number of pies that were baked, 0 through 50. That would be our scale. Now, at the bottom, along the bottom, it tells us what days the pies were baked. All right, so let's write down the data, okay? So on Sunday, the bar goes up to 20, so 20 pies were cooked on Sunday. What about Monday? Well, Monday goes to 30, so you can see there were 30 there. Tuesday. Tuesday does not have a bar, so there were 0 pies made on Tuesday. That must have been her day off. Wednesday, there were 10 pies made. How many pies were made on Thursday? 10 as well. What about Friday? She baked a lot on Friday, so there were 50. 50 pies made on Friday. And then Saturday. Saturday, she made 30 pies. Okay, so it says, what is the range of the numbers? Now remember the range. The range means you're going to start and find the highest, and you're going to subtract the lowest from it. So what was the highest number of pies she made? Well, that would be 50, and that was what she did on Friday, minus what was the lowest number of pies she made? Well, on Tuesday she made none, so that would be 0. 50 minus 0 is 50. So the range would be 50. What is the median? Number 4. What is the median of the numbers? Okay, the median means the middle number when they're all put in order from lowest to highest. So we got to start with the lowest, which we already said was 0. Now, after that, we have 10. Now, on 2 days, she made 10 pies, so we got to write 10 down twice. And then we have 20. And then we have 2 30s, so we've got to write 30 down twice, and then 150. Now remember, to get the median, you have to strike the first and the last, the first and the last, the first and the last until you get the middle number, which here the middle number is 20. So the median would be 20. All right, let's keep on moving forward. We're going to go to Number 5. Number 5. A farm equipment company kept a record of the number of tractors made each month. All right, so let's look at it. In December, this is the number of tractors here along the vertical axis. All right, so then in December and along the bottom on the horizontal axis, we have the months, December through April. All right, the whole title of the graph is tractors made. Okay, so in December, how many were made? 8. So I'm going to write that down, 8. In January, how many were made? We'll go over from the dot to the 6. So there were 6 made. February, go up until you hit the dot and then go over, and that would be 5. In March, you're going to go up to the dot and go over. 5 were made again. And then in April, you're going to go up and go all the way over, and this one is 9. So in April, 9 were made. Now, what is the median of the numbers? Remember, median means that you're going to take the middle number, okay? So you have to order them from least to greatest and mark out until you get to the middle. So the least number was 5, and that happened in February and March. Then there's 6, and then there were 8 made in December and 9 made in April. So then we're going to strike the first and the last until we get to the number 6. So 6 was the median of the numbers. What is the mode? The mode of the numbers. Now that's going to be the number that occurs most. What number is the only number that occurs more than once? Well, that would be the number 5, because 5 tractors were made in February and 5 were also made in March. Now, let's look at the next set. In these next set of problems, we are going to look at this type of chart about writing stories, okay? So what we can say, or what we can see, is that each X represents that number one time. So for example, it says some authors wrote stories for a book of short stories. The stories that were written were 1 through 6, okay? So we've got stories written. That means one story happened twice, right? So 3 occurred once, 4 there were 3, 5 there was 1, and 6 there were 3. So what is the mean of the numbers? Now remember, mean means the average. The average. So we've got to add up all the numbers and divide by the number of data points. So if we write all of these numbers out, we're going to have 1, and we're just going to add them together. 1 plus 1, because there were 2 x's over the 1. There is 1 x over the 3, so that means 3 happened once. There were 3 x's over the 4, so we've got to add 4 and write that down 3 times, okay? Because there were 3 x's over the 4. There was 1 x over the 5. There are 3 x's over the 6, so it'll be plus 6, plus 6, plus 6, okay? So that's how you get the numbers for the data points, all right? And remember, we have to add them all together because we're trying to find the mean. So here we go. So when we say 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 4 is 13, 13 plus 4 is 17, 17 plus 5 is 22, 22 plus 6 is 28, 28 plus 6 is 34, and 34 plus 6 is 40. So we've got 40 when we add them all together. Now we have to divide by the number of numbers in the data point. How many x's do you see? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 data points or data entries. So 40 divided by 10, and that would be 4. So the mean would be 4. All right, number 8. What is the range of the numbers? So when we look at the highest and the lowest, remember the range is going to be the highest minus the lowest. Okay, now the highest number represented would be 6, and the lowest number represented would be 1. So 6 minus 1 is 5. So we have the range of this data set is 5. Now, let's look at the next set. It says Camille's PE class participated in a push up competition, and Camille wrote down how many push ups each person could do. Now, this is a stem and leaf plot, so I want to remind you about a stem and leaf plot. Remember, whatever is in the stem column, that's going to come first in the number, and the leaf is going to come second. So, the push-up competition, the number of push-ups done. All right, so we can say if you got a 1, here we're going to look at the first, and then you've got a 3, that would make the number 13. Then you've also got to say, okay, a 1 and a 9 would make 19. And this is how we get our data points. Let's keep going. We've got the 2. The 2 and the 4 give me 24. A 2 and a 4 again gives me 24. A 2 and an 8 gives me 28. A 2 and an 8 gives me 28. A 2 and a 9 gives me 29. A 2 and a 9 gives me 29. Now let's go down here to the 3. 3 and 0 give me 30. 3 and 1, 31. 3 and 2, 32. 3 and 5, 35. 3 and 6, 36. 3 and 7 is 37, and 3 and 7 is 37, okay? So now let's look at number 9. It says, what is the median? Okay, the median means the middle number. Okay, the middle number. So what is the median of the numbers? All right, remember to find the middle, we have to put them in order from least to greatest. Well, the good thing is about a stem and leaf plot, they are in order from least to greatest. So we don't have to go and do that. We can simply strike the first and the last. The first and the last, the first and the last, and we can do that all the way until we get to the middle number. So the middle number would be 29. So the median of this data set provided in the stem and leaf plot would be 29. Now, what is the range of the numbers? The range. Remember, with the range, you're going to say, okay, we want to take the highest and we want to subtract the lowest. So, the good thing about the stem and leaf plot, we know that 37 is the highest and we know that 13 is the lowest. So, 37 minus 13, so let's subtract. 7 minus 3 is 4. 3 minus 1 is 2. So, we know that the range is 24. Now you should be ready to log into IXL and complete CC.2.